everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Tuesday night. We are going to go racing at a place known as the Trekkie Triangle up in Pennsylvania. This 2.5-mile speedway kind of stretches the limit for an oval, more of a triangle setting. It's one of the other super speedways that you'll find out there on the NASCAR circuit. Drivers just finishing up practice will be set to go qualifying just under 3 minutes. We are going to go ahead and move to the playing of our national anthem when we come back. We got some racing ahead for you, folks. Don't go anywhere. It's going to get good. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Tuesday night as the Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series is back in action and in force. Coming off of a good week last week at Charlotte, they head here to Pennsylvania to the Trekkie Triangle Pocono Raceway, folks. It's going to be a great race here tonight. A lot of these drivers have got to get this track figured out. They are now set to go qualifying to put down their best lap time. Taking a look at the standings coming into tonight. Dalton Baldwin still is your series points leader, has a 21-point lead over Chris Ostrander, who moves up one position from last week at Charlotte. Flip-flopping him is Glenn Murphy Jr., who is now back in third. Philip East, who is serving a suspension due to a heated incident with Cameron Hearn last week, will be sitting out this race. He's currently in fourth in points. Clay Dildine in the number 24 car is rounding up the top five. Thomas Conheady, John Olive, Stuart Joyce, Tim Sandelin, and Mike Springer rounding out your top 10 in points. Appreciate you tuning in here this Tuesday night. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and I am going to be bringing you the play-by-play action when these drivers hit that pavement. Let's take a look at tonight's race information as you see it up there on your screen. Take a look and notice the border of the word Pocono Raceway. That is what the track looks like here, folks. Hence why they call it the Trekkie Triangle. This is not an oval per se. It is oval track racing because it connects kind of like an oval. 2.5-mile track, so over the 2-mile mark makes us a super speedway. 74 degrees is the air temperature, 43% humidity, partly cloudy, and a tough and hot 99 degrees down there on that pavement, which only means when they get racing, it's going to be slicked up in some of those corners, depending upon if everybody uses that same line. If you tuned in last week, it was a great race at Charlotte, race 15 of the 22 race series. Next week, it's going to start the chase as the Fago 200 takes place. Going into Michigan International Speedway, the top 15 drivers who finish here tonight will be moving into that chase series starting on the 7th. Second round of the chase will be at Iowa. So going from a big track like Michigan down to a small track is going to change things up. But wait, there is more, folks. On June 21st, to kick it up further in a notch, we go road racing in this series. The first road course makes its appearance at Sonoma. And these guys are really going to have to show what they're made of if they're going to want to battle out for that championship race coming up on July 12th. A few races after Sonoma will be Daytona, Indianapolis, and the series finale at Kentucky Motor Speedway, and that will be the Kentucky 188. Taking a look at some of the qualifying times, Dylan Landry is posting a fast time up there, as you can see it on the screen. Tough break for him last week at Charlotte as he got collided with a few other drivers. He had his cousin with him last week. And the Landrys were working hard to be in the top 5. I believe Steve Landry. And Stephen Landry set the pole last week, currently running 4th. See that Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet car sitting down there on pit road. Currently has the 4th fast time, but it was Stephen Landry and Dylan Landry up front in the top 3 positions. Dalton Baldwin, of course, taking the victory at Charlotte last week. Due to all the incidents that they had there, he was able to come out ahead. Picked up a point for led most laps. As taking a look at the total laps led there was 53 for the number 2 Dream Racer Toyota. Just a few more moments remaining in qualifying here tonight, and we'll be set to go racing. Drivers will soon make their way out of the grid, and it looks like Dylan Landry is going to be one of the fast cars to beat here tonight. Although that 51 UCF Knights car, Ryan Cobb, was looking to be second, as now Dalton Baldwin squeaks in there to that P2 slot. Some new drivers making a debut here tonight. Scott Brisk, as you can see there, one of the other newer drivers on the field. Tyler Popp, a new guy that joined a few races ago. And it looks like qualifying has come to a close. Drivers are going to make their way out to the grid. And when our pole setter gets down there, we'll move to the grid and start letting you know where everybody's lining up tonight. There he is on the pole, then the Under Armour Chevrolet, the number 59 of Dylan Landry. As you can see to the outside in position number 2 here tonight, the number 4 car. My software wants to comply with me in that Dream Racer Toyota Camry. That is Dalton Baldwin. The number 51 of Ryan Cobb will start inside of that second row in 3rd position to his outside. That number 87 car of Craig Embry. Cambella's on the hood of that car. That number 84 car of Stephen Landry, the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, will round out your top 5 here tonight. Moving on back to number 12 of Kevin Trzynski in 6th position. That number 48 car of Glenn Murphy Jr. in that Lowe's Chevrolet will start 7th. That number 8 car that's to his outside is Randy Arms in that Uhlans. We'll give that a shot. Uhlans Chevrolet. Club Ohio driver will be starting in 8th position. As the pace car starts to take him around the track. Get the final 2 for the top 10. And speaking of 10, it looks like that is the guy starting in 9th position. It's 20, excuse me. That is Tyler Popp in that orange Chevrolet. 32 of Mike Springer. Rounding out your top 10 here tonight. So it will be Dylan Landry setting the pace when we go green here, folks. Bringing them down to the final part of the triangle here. Into that last turn they'll go. Going down toward what you call the front stretch. A lot of these guys are concerned with how it's going to play out here tonight. So we'll have to see how this will go. Here we go. Pace car taking them through that final turn. It'll be Landry and Baldwin up front. Pace car into the pits, and the green flags in the air. 70 laps coming at you. They make their way down the front stretch. The number 4 of Dalton Baldwin looks to take over the race lead. We have our first caution of the night. A lot of guys involved back there. Looks like possibly Tyler Blanchard involved. Number 30 car. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. As we get you down closer, Chevrolet of Tyler Blanchard. He is going to get loose and turn the 88. Talk about irony. 2 nationwide cars, both running Dale Jr. paint schemes, and they're going to collide coming out of the final turn. That 88 car there of Scott Brisk. And I'm not sure if these guys are teammates or not. John Aliz with a little ARCA brake action to the back of Blanchard. Let's go back and take a look from an on-board perspective. We'll go on board with Blanchard here. There he is into the second turn. Making his way through. See the 88 there of Brisk to his inside just ahead of him. Looks like he's going to get loose coming out of this final turn. As they make their way in, you're going to see that 30 car just get a little bit loose, and there it is. They'll tag the 88 in the first caution flag. Flies in the night here on lap number 2. So it looks like he's still sitting down there on pit road. John Alles, comes in for a pit stop. The first caution flag comes out of the night. We are going to take a short commercial break when we come back. Plenty of race action to go. These guys got to figure out this tricky triangle in a hurry. And they're going to want to walk out of here without a scratch. Don't go anywhere, folks. Plenty of race. Go ahead.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Oh boy, get ready for some noise. Gentlemen, start your engines.
AMSLeague.com is the premier iRacing league for action-packed racing from green to checkered. Prepare yourself to start every week right with the AMSLeague.com Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series, Tuesday nights at 9:20 Eastern Time, right here exclusively on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. You will not find a better connected Oval League and community in the iRacing service. AMSLeague.com provides the highest level of competitive racing while holding true to our Have Fun First motto. Prepare yourself for the best Tuesday night oval racing on Sim Racing Earth at AMSLeague.com. Also, check out our Monday Night Truck Series and Wednesday IndyCar Series. And remember, you can watch all of our Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series races live, right here on the Digital Forge Racing Network. AMSleague.com. A premier iRacing league with a great group of drivers.
Welcome back to Pocono this Tuesday night. Pace car taking them into turn number 3. We're going to set to go green on lap number 6. Just a flip-flop up front between Baldwin and Landry. They'll be both starting in that front row. This time Landry's going to be to the outside. Baldwin has the forward line down low. We'll have to see how this will play out when we go back green. Pace car towards the pits.
Green flag, green
There it
flag.
goes, and they are back in the race. Moves up to second position. Craig Embry to third. As they work their way into turn number 1, you're going to see the number 4 of Dalton Baldwin get really low. Running that lower groove through turn number... There's still turn number 1, I should say. Big turn here. Used to have an oval where it's 2 turns.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Another caution flag coming out. And it looks like Tim Sandlin involved in this one, the 74 car of Vern Bradley as well. So we'll have to take a look at this one. Following the number 9 is Sandlin as he goes into turn number 1. Vern Bradley's going to be involved in this as they come out. And Vern Bradley actually is going to be the cause of the second caution of the night as he got loose and then snapped up into the wall, comes back down into Tim Sandlin. You can see that Valvoline Chevrolet goes spinning around, pushed by that ultimate number 74 of Vern Bradley. Pan the camera out just a little bit. See the 73 of Chris Ostrander and that Budweiser Chevrolet go to the low side. The 50 of Michael Tant in that Napa car. And, oh, did he make it? No. Looks like the 55 of A.J. Brissett in that Toyota Camry over there in the infield. He's going to smack that wall really hard there. Not able to escape the out-of-control 74. And John Hollis just goes cruising by in that Livewire Chevrolet. Tosses a nod to Tim Sandlin as he passes him. So let's go ahead and take another look from Vern Bradley's perspective coming out of turn number 1. Here's the restart. Those tires struggling to maintain grip. And just oversteers it coming out. A little bit of contact there with Brissett before he comes to the rest in the grass. So everybody making their way down pit road. Let's take a look. Battle off pit road. And there goes Baldwin. So everybody comes flying off of pit road. welcome back this Tuesday night to Pocono Raceway as we're watching the cars do a little bit of pace action coming out of turn number 3. Lights should be coming off the pace car this time around. Chris the Wild Man Turtle Ostrander up front. We'll see if we can get a quick driver interview here as the lights look like they have come off. Chris, what can you tell us about being up front?
I stayed out when everybody else pitted.
So what's your anticipations going back green?
I don't know. I think somebody took 2 tires and some people took 4. I only went like a lap and a half or so on my tires since I pitted the last time, so I'm not that great here. I expect to get past, but maybe I'll net some positions.
How has the car been handling so far?
Oh, very terrible. I hit the wall in turn 2 on my first lap when I was all by myself. It's just tight. It's loose off, but it's tight in and center, so it's really hard to handle.
All right, any quick shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Oh, just thanks to all the guys that showed up for the race tonight. And to you for broadcasting.
All right, Chris, we'll appreciate the time. Best of luck to you in the remainder of the laps to go.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. The 73 of Chris Ostrander will have the 48 of Glenn Murphy Jr. to the outside. Ryan Cobb will be to the high side of that second row. Dalton Baldwin, the guys who led the most laps here tonight, will be starting to the inside. A total of 8 laps led there for number 4 Toyota Camry. Fast man last week, Stephen Landry, the 84 car back there behind Baldwin. Will have the 87 of Craig Embry to his outside. As they work their way into the final turn of the track, pace car will be set to go into the pits. The base car.
Green flag, green flag.
Flags in the air. We're back to the race. Some 3-wide action through the first turn. And Murphy Jr. and Baldwin are going to have a little contact. Boy, did that send Baldwin down nearly to the grass. Inside track action now as Ryan Cobb pulls up behind Dalton Baldwin, trying to work that lower groove in the second turn. And now Dalton Baldwin battles Glenn Murphy Jr. for the race lead here in turn number 3 on lap number 12. And Stephen Landry is going to run that lower groove, trying to get some momentum. What did he swing high coming up out of turn number 3? Murphy Jr., Embry, and Landry are all side by side as they work their way down to turn number 1. Cobb and Baldwin. Cobb's got the preferred line as he runs that lower groove, but he's getting tight. And down comes Baldwin to the inside of Ryan Cobb. As they come out in the first turn, down that back straightaway, working towards turn number 2. Dalton Baldwin has a pass. He takes back the race lead, and Ryan Cobb has nowhere to go as Baldwin's going to run that lower groove through turn number 2. But he got really close to the wall. And now Glenn Murphy Jr. is going to battle Ryan Cobb for second position into turn number 3. As they work their way to the third turn. Cobb just ahead. Will have second position. Murphy Jr. trying to get something looking down there. The 87 car will have to the high side as they work their way down towards turn number 1. It is now Murphy Jr. and Craig Embry battling side by side through the first turn. Embry to the high side should have the position coming out. And Murphy Jr. settles behind the 87 car. Right there behind him as they work their way into the second turn. Landry Cousins now fighting one in front of the other as Dillon's in front of Steven coming out of turn number 2. cars definitely try to swing out to that very close inside lane coming down the front straightaway as they want to get out in that clean air and catch that momentum. Baldwin brings the herd out of turn number 1 down that back straightaway. As the 51 of Ryan Cobb looking to the inside, going to try to push him high. In turn number 2, here comes that UCF Chevrolet of Ryan Cobb, and Baldwin's going to attack the wall just a little bit. Craig Embry behind him, right over the draft support. Maybe have made a little bit of contact there before the entrance to turn number 3. Way through the third turn now. Cobb to the inside of Baldwin as they come down the front stretch. Still a great battle up front here into lap number 16. Ryan Cobb, the lower line car, as he works into turn number 1. We know this car's gotten a lot tighter, and take a look at that. Baldwin on the outside is able to regain the race lead. Craig Embry makes an inside pass as they come out of turn number 1, takes over second position. And now a little bump trap between Glenn Murphy Jr. and Cobb, but Murphy Jr. leaves Cobb behind and goes to the inside before turn number 2 picks up third position. As they come out of that second turn, we're going towards turn. Dylan Landry has nowhere to go. He's trying to hide, he's trying to low. So he's just going to bump trap that 51 car out of turn number 3. Down the front straightaway they come. Stephen Landry swings wide, he gets in the air. Baldwin now out to a 3/10 second lead over the 87 of Craig Embry. Murphy Jr. just about a half a second behind Embry as they work their way into turn number 1. Cobb has Landry behind him. Behind Landry is Randy Arms, the number 8 car. Running a new paint scheme. Back straightaway towards turn number 2. Stephen Landry back in 2nd position. And look at this. Oh my, the big gap between Stephen Landry and Chris Ostrander back there in 8th position. You see the 183. That's another new guy. Made a debut appearance last week at Charlotte, Shaquille Ray. Tell you what, that guy was screaming around that Charlotte Motor Speedway track, and he is looking to carry that momentum coming forward. He finished on the podium last week. You see that 183. Ford Fusion now battling down towards turn number 1. Got around Chris Ostrander. He's on the move up to Stephen Landry. Out to clean air ahead of the second pack, if you want to call it that. Springer behind Ostrander. Behind him, Springer is Tyler Bob, one of the guys involved in the first caution of the night. Kevin Trzynski battling with Vern Bradley. Vern Bradley's going to go to the inside of Trzynski, pick up 12th position there. As they work their way out of turn number 2, the 12 of Trzynski was looking to make an inside pass, not able to do so. Ray Dildine back there in 14th position. Thomas Connetti, the number 7 car in that Chevrolet, works his way through the third turn in 15th position. And he's going to get loose! He's trying to left turn Clyde into the fence. He's got loose coming out of turn number 3. So that's going to cost him 3 positions. He'll fall back to 18th. Back into the race lead in the back straightaway, Dalton Baldwin. Here on lap number 19 has now led a total of 15 laps for tonight. As he works his way into the second turn, just about 6 tenths ahead of the 48 of Glenn Murphy Jr. 51 of Ryan Cobb back there in 3rd position, and the 59 of Dylan Landry 4th. Randy Arms rounding out your top 5. As I tell you what, we'll go ahead and put that up there on the screen for you. Times over to the left of the gap between drivers. Cobb just 4/10, half a second behind Glenn Murphy Jr. As you can see, they're all in a single file line coming down the front straightaway towards turn number 1. Race statistics there in your lower left. 19 laps completed, 2 lead changes, 2 cautions. this yellow flag, making an appearance on lap number 6. Had a good going on 14 laps of green flag racing here. As Baldwin comes down the front straightaway, crossing over to lap number 21. 20 laps now completed, 50 remain. Murphy Jr. back to about almost 6 to 7/10 of a second behind the number 4 of Dalton Baldwin. As you see Craig Embry back in 7th position. Take a look at that. Look is behind the 87, a man on the move. That is Shaquille Ray, the Carolina driver here tonight, started 20th. He's up to 8th position inside that top 10, and he is on the move. His fast lap time here tonight, 55.35. Just about a lap and a half ago, we saw him behind Chris Ostrander. Chris Ostrander falls to 11th position. Ray now moves up towards Craig Embry. As you can see, he's 8/10 of a second behind the 87 car as they come down that front straightaway. One of the few Ford Fusions you're going to find on the track tonight. This track is dominated by Chevrolets. A few Toyota Camrys in the mix. As Baldwin leads Murphy Jr. into turn number 2.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
And second caution flag comes out of the night. Back and follow Scott Britt. We pause it here. I think it was Tim Sandelin. Not that. It was Vern Bradley. So it's Vern Bradley. We dial it back another 30 seconds here. Let's go back and take a look at the 74. I think he has put his car in a hauler since he got back to the pits, but he's going to bring out the third caution flag of the night. Having a little bit of connection issues. So the 74 goes through turn number 1 and snaps again. We saw this happen earlier. Craig Embry as well. And oh, look at that hit. Wow. Boy, did he hit that wall hard. One more look. We'll go inside the car. It's always nice to be able to provide an in-car cam so you can see what the driver witnesses during these incidents. Is heading into turn number 1. A snap like he did before on lap number 6. There's that hit. Just a heavy hit to that inside wall. So that's going to bring the drivers back down pit road yet again. The 12 of Kevin Trzynski is going to stay out. Caution flag out for the third time tonight. The Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series this season right here on the Digital Ford Broadcasting Network. Then move to commercial break when we come back. Some more race action coming your way. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
AMSLeague.com is the premier iRacing league for action-packed racing from green to checkered. Prepare yourself to start every week right with the AMSLeague.com Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series, Tuesday nights at 9:20 Eastern Time, right here exclusively on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. You will not find a better connected oval league and community in the iRacing service. AMSLeague.com provides the highest level of competitive racing while holding true to our Have Fun First motto. Prepare yourself for the best Tuesday night oval racing on Sim Racing Earth at AMSLeague.com. Also, check out our Monday Night Truck Series and Wednesday IndyCar Series. And remember, you can watch all of our Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series races live, right here on the Digital Forge Racing Network. AMSLeague.com. A premier iRacing league with a great group of drivers.
Welcome back this Tuesday night to Pocono Raceway here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. We've got the Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm Dustin Caldwell bringing the play-by-play action down here on the racetrack. And right now the 7th Thomas Conheady staying out while everybody else pitted. Will be taking us back to the green as the lights have come off that pace car. Top 5 as it stands going back to green. Conheady, Baldwin, Cobb, Murphy Jr., and Ray. At 183 of Shaquille Ray is on the move. Guy started back in the 20s and has now worked his way up to that top 5. Keep your eyes on that number 4 as that red, white, and blue paint scheme on that Camry. That's the Children's Street Racer Toyota Camry of Dalton Baldwin. The guy who came off of the win last week at Charlotte. Pretty much is your series points leader by about 21 points over Chris Ostrander. Ostrander currently running 11th position here tonight. As the pace car takes him out of turn number 2 towards turn number 3. Vern Bradley, Tyler Blanchard have both on the pits tonight. Cars are in the hauler. Blanchard, the 30 car, coming out with the first caution in the first lap. Got into the 88 of Brisk. Here we go, pace car. Takes them through turn number 3. Down the front stretch they come. It'll be 44 to go. Pace car now.
Green flag,
into the
green
pits.
flag.
There's the green flag. We're back to the race. Thomas Conheady with the older tires right in front throws a block between him and Shaquille Ray. Ray not too happy about it. Practically threw the 7 car out of his way. Got held up in the behind. We got some possible 3 wide and Shaquille Ray
All right, man.
is
caution
going
down,
to get
caution down.
turned. That is a heartbreaker for that car, that 183 car of Shaquille Ray. Guy who had dug through the track, through the field all night tonight, now gets involved in the 4th caution. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. may have been a possible net code bump between him and Conheady. Wow. That 183 car is going to go for a ride, as well as Thomas Conheady. Mike Springer nowhere to go but to the side of Thomas Conheady. 3 different nationwide paint schemes here tonight, and they've all been involved in an incident. It's nice to know Nationwide's on your side, folks. Give them a call. AJ Brissett, Michael Tant, and David McMahon are going to go to the inside as Springer pulls his Tour Modified away. Dial it back one more time for you. As we take a look into turn 1, look at this. Conheady just right in front, slows up Ray. You can see the bump action between the two. Ray with a nice little bump there to get Conheady out of his way. And as he comes down the back straightaway, see the 8 there, Randy Arms to the inside. Keep in mind that Landry was there in just a little bit of bump. I think it is going to come from Thomas Conheady on that one. And unfortunately, it's going to cost them both not only track position, but a fast repair. So Ray down there on pit road has not returned. You see the field now making their way down by pit road. Dalton Baldwin tonight. Florida drivers started second outside that first row. Fast lap time here tonight, 54.86. He's led 22. We've got 42 remaining. See if we can get a driver interview here with Baldwin as he works his way out of turn number 1. Dalton Baldwin, this is Dustin Caldwell. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bud.
Well, you find yourself back up to the front here with about 42 laps remaining. How's the car handling tonight?
It's pretty good. It's really loose. It's a pretty slick racetrack. I think it's pretty hot this race here. So racetrack's pretty slick. Everyone's sliding around a little bit, but that's definitely making it a lot more fun, making the racing a lot, more interesting and a lot more passing. So it's a blast out here.
Well, they call it the tricky triangle. Have you solved that puzzle?
I don't think I'm ever going to solve that puzzle. I just kind of understand it for a little while better than the rest of the field. But the tunnel turn, I really like that turn. I get through there pretty well. Turn 3 is usually my weak turn. But turn 1 is the turn that really seems to get a lot of people because it's the one that's the most different. And you're not really expecting to get as loose as you do out of that turn. And I think that's where we're seeing a lot of guys get loose out of there. So, but it's tricky, and it's just whoever can hang on the most for the longest.
Is there any shout outs you'd like to give while we got you on the line?
Yeah, Children's Dream Racer, check them out. Always support our troops. I got a patriotic paint scheme. I ran it last week, decided to run it again this week. And thank everyone for watching, and you're putting on a great broadcast, and I appreciate it, bud.
All right, well, best of luck to you in the laps to come.
All right, thanks, man.
Making his way back out onto the track, we are going to go live now. Had a chance to talk with this guy last week on the podium, Shaquille Ray. This is Dustin Caldwell. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Take us back through that turn 2. I know you were pretty upset. We could tell by the way Thomas Conheady came up in front of you in turn 1. You guys find yourself making a little contact towards turn number 2. How does this play into your overall strategy now?
Well, I'll use my first fast repair, so there's no more saving the car now. And going to turn 1, I don't know what happened. He just came up in front of me. And then that was it going into turn 2. We made contact.
Well, you definitely had a good car here tonight. That Ford Fusion looks really solid. I mean, you're being able to dig through the field. Started 20th position. You worked your way up into the top 5. You think you're going to make your way back there again?
Oh, yeah, I'll be back up there. Get this lap back eventually and get up to the lead.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. Shaquille Ray, is there any shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Shout out to Steven and Dylan Landry. Woo!
All right. Best of luck to you in the laps to come there, Shaquille.
Thank you.
Shaquille Ray in that 183 Ford Fusion, a Carolina driver here tonight, bringing out the fourth caution with the contact with Thomas Conheady in turn number 2. But he is very, very optimistic and might right as well be so, as he has dug through the field. He's back in 19th position. He came from 20th to the top 5. This guy, expect to see some great things out of this guy here tonight. Lights have come off that pace car. It's going to be Dalton Baldwin, Ryan Cobb, Dylan Landry, and Glenn Murphy Jr., your front 4. As we take a look at the summary statistics in the bottom left of your screen. 30 laps completed. He's got about 40 to go. 4 lead changes, 4 total cautions. Kind of ironic those are working with one another, even though there's not an incident with the overall lead to caution. Back straightaway they go as they work their way towards turn number 2. Baldwin is going to be able to set the pace here. It'll be 39 remaining when that green flag flies. Just a stunning look at that infield and the scenery around the outside of this track. Hard to believe it's a 2.5-mile track, as when you think of super speedways, you think of Daytona and Talladega. Pace car taking them through turn number 3 will be set to go into the pits. There goes the pace car, the green flag's in, and we are back to the race here this Tuesday night. As they come down that front straightaway, top 5 is reshuffled. Let's take a look at the top 5. Baldwin, Landry, Murphy Jr., Cobb, and Stephen Landry. Again, the Landrys are cousins. Dylan in the 59, Stephen in the 84 car. Out of turn number 2 they come. Nice little pack battle. Let's look back to 11th position as Mike Springer is on the move. Scott Brisket as well running that inside lane, and some 3 wide near action is Chris Ostrander. And he's going to get around Clay Dildine. Ostrander second in the series points coming into tonight. Currently sitting in 15th position. Murphy Jr. trying to get around Landry as they come down the front straightaway towards turn number 1. It's 37 laps remaining in tonight's race. Embry and Stephen Landry. Embry gets around Stephen. Randy Arms in that number 8 Chevrolet right behind the Bass Pro Shops 84 of Stephen Landry. Had a couple weeks off. He's made his return here tonight at Pocono. Ryan Cobb currently running back in 7th position. Tyler Popp in 8th. Tim Sandlin 9th, and Mike Springer has moved up into the top 10. Working on his 28th lap lead of the night as the 4 of Dalton Baldwin goes into turn number 3. He's got about an 0.8 of a second lead over Dylan Landry coming down the front straightaway. Looks like all the side-by-side action has quelled for the moment as they go into turn number 1, a single file line. Craig Embry there in 4th. As you can see the gaps between the packs. Cobb out there all by himself in 7th position. Tyler Popp back there in 8th position as he works his way into the turn, has Tim Sandlin behind him. Mike Springer trying to work his way up into the 9th position. And now we see Tyler Popp head for pit road. It'll be 4 tire swap for the number 20 car. Out of turn number 1 comes the number 4 of Dalton Baldwin leading the crowd, as Dylan Landry still in front of Glenn Murphy Jr. Murphy Jr. about 0.2 of a second or quarter second behind the 59 cars. They go through turn number 2. See Embry just in front of Stephen Landry. Randy Arms behind that 84 car coming through turn number 3. Boy, those cars start to swing wide towards that wall. You've seen a couple of cars. Blanchard, one of them, the number 30 Nationwide Chevrolet, get loose. That was on the first lap of the race. Vern Bradley out of turn number 1 has snapped twice. That brought out a couple of cautions. And the 4th and final caution coming from the contact with Thomas Conheady and Shaquille Ray. So we have had a caution in every turn of this track. Randy Arms now looks to the inside. Not going to have it there in turn number 2. Getting close to that 84's bumper. He may do it here in turn number 3. Let's see if he sets up for a pass. Number 8 car looks to the inside. No dice for Randy Arms. Down the front straightaway comes the number 4 of Dalton Baldwin in that Dream Racers Toyota Camry.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Oh, and we have got some incidents out of turn number 3. Kevin Trzynski in the 12 car back there. Let's go take a look at the replay. Heading towards turn number 3 behind the 23 of David McMahon. He's just going to get loose and skids right up to that wall. We were just talking about it. And wow, does the 88 of Scott Brisk avoid? That would have been the second time for tonight out of turn number 3. He would have got collected. So everybody, Shaquille Ray with a little bit of ARCA brake to the side of Kevin Trzynski. Tried to thread the needle to the high side. Not going to do it. That is unfortunate there for the 183 car. Switch to Scott Brisk behind Kevin Trzynski here in turn number 2. Get a good idea what it looked like from behind as he got loose coming out of the 3rd turn. He's able to avoid it. Here's Shaquille Ray. not able to get around the 12 of Kevin Trzynski, and he's already used up his fast repair, so that's going to be some heavy damage and definitely going to put a fork in the night for the 183. Take a look. I believe he did have another fast repair on that car, so thought he had already used up every one of them. That was his last one when we had talked to him, but it looks like he's able to get it taken care of, so we may still see some more out of that 183 yet. Everybody making their way down pit road. Dalton Baldwin leads the herd, and Shaquille Ray's going to stay out. Ray will go to the front. Everybody down pit road. Sandal in the first off. Here comes Dylan Landry. And as they all make their way off of pit road back out to the track, we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Lights off that pace car this time around as they come down the front straightaway. Shaquille Ray will receive the wave around, as he was in the lucky dog spot, so he will get his lap back. It'll be 28 to go when we get back to that start-finish line and the green flag flies. Dylan Landry, Glenn Murphy Jr., Mike Springer, and Ryan Cobb, your front four. Some notable points to mention, folks. Coming up tomorrow night, we are not going to be broadcasting the Modified Madness Tour, as they did not have a race scheduled for this week. We were hoping to go to New Smyrna tomorrow night, but unfortunately the race got pushed back 1 week, so we will be up on the iRacing Live portal next week, June 8th. Thursday nights are free for the moment, but we will be back broadcasting Friday night for the Interleague Championship Racing Series. That's 3 different leagues, 3 powerhouse leagues to say the least. Loose Lug Nuts Racing, KMA Racing, and TWCVM, and now they're adding a 4th, Max Velocity, to the mix. 4 leagues, 1 race, 1 series, 3 different vehicles over the course of 5 different tracks. And they're moving into race number 4 at Auto Club. It's going to be a great race. Chicagoland is up this Friday, as they'll be in the Camping World trucks. Pace car taking them into turn number 3. Landry and Murphy Jr. up front. Pace car in, the green flag's in the air. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that 183 had some hope here tonight, and he had just got a lap back, and he's been picked on. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. Auto Trader Ford Fusion working his way through turn number 1. Let's see what happens. Just gonna snap right out of turn number 1. Something we had seen the 74 of Vern Bradley do twice here tonight. Just a tough break there for the 183 of Shaquille Ray. They call this the tricky triangle, and tricks to be played, especially for that car. It's just, you could hear it as he was exiting turn number 1. Started to oversteer coming out of the turn, and when it finally got grip, boy, did it snap him right up into that wall. Summary race statistics in your bottom left, folks. 43 laps completed of the 70 on the dock tonight. 5 lead changes, not 70 lead changes, 5 lead changes. 6 total cautions. As we start to see some guys come back down pit road, Dylan Landry stays out. Glenn Murphy Jr. Oh, the fake out. Boy, did they fake a lot of drivers out. Murphy Jr. decided to stay out. Dylan Landry up to the race lead now. Let's see if we can go down on board with the 59 car, maybe get an interview with him. Dylan Landry, this is Dustin Caldwell. You there?
What's up, Dustin?
Well, you find yourself up to the front here tonight. Had a total of 5 laps led so far. How's your car handling this evening?
She's loose on the exit of every corner until maybe 6 or 7, 8 laps, and then it starts to tighten up a little bit.
What was your expectations, knowing that this was not an easy track to conquer coming into tonight?
Yeah, it's not one of my best tracks, but you know, with a lot of practice, you can be pretty decent.
All right, is there any shout outs you'd like to give while we got you on the line?
Yeah, just gotta thank you for broadcasting this, AMS, and teammates Shaquille Ray, Stephen Landry, and Ryan Cobb.
All right, well, best of luck to you in the laps to come there, Dylan.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. Some words with Dylan Landry. Again, folks, this is the Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series this Tuesday night here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. We'll take a short commercial break. We come back. We'll have some more race action. Just under 25 to go. It'll be 23 to go when we go back green as the lights are off that pace car going through turn number 2. Dylan Landry, Glenn Murphy Jr. up front, Mike Springer, and Clay Dildine now makes his way up to the front four. Pace car takes him through turn number 3. Landry with the pace. Green flags in the air. We're back to the race. 23 to go. Scott Brisk is going to get turned in turn number 2. Wow. And Stephen Landry's going to hit the hard wall hard. Ryan Cobb involved in it as well. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. So Ryan Cobb all over this track is actually going to get into the side of Michael Tant, and at the same time he's going to turn the 88 of Scott Brisk. Tant's going to go up into the wall. Oh, he does a wheelie. Take a look at that, Michael Tant. Cobb comes back down into Chris Ostrander, who in turn is going to get into the side of Stephen Landry. Landry, take a look at this. He's going to hit that wall really hard. Head-on collision. Wow. That 84 car is going to go for a spin. And the man who started it all is going to get collected up in the mess as well. We'll go back and take a look on board with Ryan Cobb. We move down to the in-car cam. You can see this. Guy was just trying to move through the track like it's one lap to go. Just crazy. It's going to get to the outside of Tim Sandlin here. Scott Brisk, the 88 car, is going to get turned. There's the collision with Tant. You can see how quickly that escalated. Let's go back and take a look from Michael Tant's perspective as that car did a wheelie. There you see the 50 of Tant to the outside of Scott Brisk. Here's the collision. Now Tant's going to come up here into the wall. Right here is where he's going to pop that car straight up in the air. Does a wheelie. Same time, here is the contact with Stephen Landry, where Landry's going to get turned by Ostrander. David McMahon able to get away unscathed, and right there's Ryan Cobb for an additional collision there to the side of the 84. So 7 total cautions here tonight, 5 lead changes, 49 laps completed. It'll be 20 to go when they get across that start-finish line. Dylan Landry making light work here, leading these laps. Total of 10 laps led now for the 59. Springer dived out like he was going to go down pit road. Tricky triangle here tonight, really showing that it's a tough track to figure out. And these guys, every turn of this track has had a caution here. At least, I should say 2 cautions now. Turn 3 had 2 cautions. Turn 2 just had 2 cautions. Turn 1's had the most. Under 20 laps will remain as we see Dylan Landry crossing the start-finish line. 19 now to go as the lights come off the pace car. The 87 of Craig Embry will be to the outside. Mike Springer and Glenn Murphy Jr. still up in the front 4. Some things to mention coming up in the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network schedule in June. Precision Racing League makes its way to our network, and we will be broadcasting the Formula Renault 2.0 series on Thursday nights. It's a 9-race series. And on Sunday nights, we'll be taking over the Truck Series, their oval truck league that they run. So a couple series from one league will be run. If you tuned in last night, we had the premiere of the Short Track National Showdown Series of street stocks at South Boston with some excellent race action there, 125 laps. Kyle Barnes, CRA driver, came away with the win there. Modified Madness Tour will be back in action next Wednesday on the 8th. It's where the Tour Modifieds and the SK or the Light Modifieds battle together in one track. They're going to be at New Smyrna. And of course, Fridays, the Interleague Championship Racing Series. Now 4 leagues battling together in that series. Pace car through turn number 3. They're on Friday nights at 10 p.m.
Green flag.
Green flag flies. We're back to the race with 18 to go. And as that 59 of Dylan Landry comes across the start-finish line, he's got about a 2/10-second lead over the 87 of Craig Embry. Glenn Murphy Jr. back there in third position. 17 laps now remain. Dalton Baldwin, one of the guys who led early on in this race, a total of 33 laps, is running in fourth position. Looks to make a move down the back straightaway inside of Glenn Murphy Jr. And he won't have enough to catch Craig Embry, but he'll get around the 48 of Murphy Jr. Springer still holding on in the top 5, has Randy Arms behind him. And you can see the car is still getting kind of loose coming out of turn number 3. But Dylan Landry works his way down towards turn number 1. 16 laps now remain with a quarter-second lead over that 87 of Embry. Embry's going to try the inside through turn number 1, really running that lower groove as he hugs almost the white line down there by the grass. Oh, and some looseness from Baldwin into the wall. That's going to cost him as he falls back to 7th. Turn 1 really plaguing the drivers here tonight. Ostrander now is going to pass Springer. Baldwin's going to follow suit in that third. Oh, they are going to push through turn number 3. Ostrander just ahead of Springer. Baldwin to the inside. And Murphy Jr. is now coming down pit road. Short pit strategy here for the 48 as he brings that Lowe's Chevrolet down pit road with a little bit of cobalt action on the side panel. Out of turn number 1 comes the 59 of Dylan Landry. Still has a hard charging 87 of Craig Embry right there behind him. 15 laps and closing on tonight's race. Randy Arms back there in third position. Nice little pack battle here. Clay Dildine in 7th position, just looking on as Baldwin now gets around Springer. Springer has Stephen Landry behind him. Landry is currently 1 lap down in the lucky dog position as he looks to the inside of the 32, heading in turn number 1. Baldwin to the inside of Ostrander. Springer is going to swing down to the inside of Baldwin. He's going to move up a position. Springer takes over 5th position from Dalton Baldwin. And now looks to the inside of Ostrander. Ostrander throws the block in turn number 2. Closing that doorway for Springer, and Baldwin's going to get loose.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Wow, did Dalton Baldwin get loose there? Let's go back and take a look at the replay. Just righty. So he got tight coming out of turn number 2, pushed right up into the wall, and just lost control after that. So Baldwin, after all said and done, falls back to 12th position. Your series points leader has enough lead, especially with Landry. Landry, if he comes away with the victory, Craig Embry is 11th in overall points, so not really threatening anything towards Baldwin's lead here, as we see Landry now make his way down pit road, bringing the rest of the pack with him behind. Just under 12 laps to go here tonight as they are working their way to their final, what hopefully would be their final pit stop of the night. This is the Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. We'll take a commercial break. We come back. This thing is going to close out, and it's going to be a great finish. You want to stay tuned.
Some noise. Gentlemen, start your engines.
AMSLeague.com is the premier iRacing league for action-packed racing from green to checkered. Prepare yourself to start every week right with the AMSLeague.com Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series, Tuesday nights at 9:20 Eastern Time, right here exclusively on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. You will not find a better connected oval league and community in the iRacing service. AMSLeague.com provides the highest level of competitive racing while holding true to our Have Fun First motto. Prepare yourself for the best Tuesday night oval racing on Sim Racing Earth at AMSLeague.com. Also, check out our Monday Night Truck Series and Wednesday IndyCar Series. And remember, you can watch all of our Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series races live, right here on the Digital Forge Racing Network. AMSLeague.com. A premier iRacing league with a great group of drivers.
Welcome back to Pocono this Tuesday night for the Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series. It's going to be 9 laps remaining when we go back to the green. Clay Dildine, Glenn Murphy Jr. up front. Caution flag came out when Dalton Baldwin out of turn number 2 hit the wall. Got pushed up into the wall, got loose. Afterwards couldn't hold on to it. Spun out, bringing out the 8th caution of the night. Pace car taking them through turn number 3. Dildine, Murphy Jr. up front.
Green flag.
Pace car into the pits. The green flag's back in the air. 9 laps to go. And Clay Dildine's going to get turned. Oh, and Dylan Landry's going to hit that wall. Got to give it to these drivers. They're racing every lap like it's the last here tonight. Following the 24 of Clay Dildine here into turn number 1. Take a look at these aggressive moves. Springer's going to swing out wide. Embry. A little bit of a netcode turn on the 24 of Clay Dildine right behind Glenn Murphy Jr. As we see Randy Arms is going to go down. Into the grass, Dylan Landry. Chris Ostrander is going to get involved. This is going to take out a bunch here, folks. Let's go back and take a look. My gyro cam. You're going to see the 24 of Clay Dildine get turned. And look at the rest of the field there. Mike Springer involved as well. So we are back to the yellow yet again here tonight. Let's take a look at the summary statistics in your bottom left. 62 laps. Of the 70 laps completed, 7 lead changes, 9 total cautions here tonight. Tricky Triangle definitely has some tricks up its sleeve, and it shows here tonight. Take a look at Dylan Landry's car. A lot of front end damage on that 59.
start your engines.
AMSLeague.com is the premier iRacing league for action-packed racing from green to checkered. Prepare yourself to start every week right with the AMSLeague.com Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series, Tuesday nights at 9:20 Eastern Time, right here exclusively on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. You will not find a better connected oval league and community in the iRacing service. AMSLeague.com provides the highest level of competitive racing while holding true to our Have Fun First motto. Prepare yourself for the best Tuesday night oval racing on Sim Racing Earth at AMSLeague.com. Also, check out our Monday Night Truck Series and Wednesday IndyCar Series. And remember, you can watch all of our Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series races live, right here on the Digital Forge Racing Network. AMSLeague.com. A premier iRacing league with a great group of drivers.
Lights off that pace car. Welcome back to Pocono Raceway this Tuesday night. Just under 4 laps remaining when we get to that start-finish line. As you can see, the pace car taking him towards turn number 3. It's going to be Glenn Murphy Jr., Randy Arms, Craig Embry, and David McMahon in that Dr. Pepper car. Up in your front 4. Pace car into turn number 3. 48 of Murphy Jr., that low Chevrolet to set the pace. Here we go. Pace car into the pits. The green flag's back in the air. Here we go. 4 laps.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And a fitting night, I guess. As aggressive as these guys have driven all night long, kind of almost expected an incident on the restart. Dylan Landry, a lot of damage on that car. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. So we're going to run it back really slow here. See what happened in the restart. Dalton Baldwin to the high side. Stephen Landry is going to get right into the side of Baldwin. Come back down into Scott Brisk. Brisk is going to come off of Dylan Landry. So one Landry to a Brisk to another Landry. And oh, wow. To the Landry cousins there at the top right of your screen, both involved. Scott Brisk, the 88 Nationwide Chevrolet. So we go back and take a look. One more time here from the view of Stephen Landry. As they come back to the final restart. As the caution flag flies, they're going to pace out for 4 laps, and that's pretty much done here tonight. Watch for Dalton Baldwin on the top right of your screen. Hear him coming, and there's the contact with him. Dylan Landry heavy damage on the front end of his car as well. So it looks like it's going to be Glenn Murphy Jr., Randy Arms, and Dalton Baldwin. That's going to be your top three here tonight. Not sure how that planned out. Dalton Baldwin was way in the back. Race Control does have him in third position, folks. That is really interesting considering the front end damage on that 4 car. A lot of animosity down there on the field. You listening in on the Race Control chatter, these drivers not too happy that Dalton Baldwin jumped the restart. I think Stephen Landry was trying to get around, I believe it was Michael Tant or Scott Brisk, and made the collision with Dalton Baldwin. Still not sure how the 4 car finishes up in third, but the white flag's in the air. We got one more lap of pacing here. Summary race statistics in the bottom left of your screen. 7 lead changes tonight, 10 total cautions. At your top 5, Glenn Murphy Jr., Randy Arms, Dalton Baldwin, Craig Embry, and David McMahon. We'll try something here, folks, just to figure out for ourselves. Dang thing squeak. So here we're gonna bring it back right to when the caution flag had come out. So, as you can see right here, caution flag, I don't believe had yet been called. So we're able to... Actually, I'm going to apologize for this. I'm going to back it up here. Walk it back. So, following Dalton Baldwin on this, just to clear the air, just in case everybody is wondering, there is Dalton Baldwin, who had squeaked right by Stephen Landry. The contact was made. Actually, we'll apologize for doing it this way, just to settle the air. I have a lot of questions on this. So, and if I didn't hit my camera right there, he goes by. Caution flag's not in the air just yet. So he had to run the outside, completely jump the restart, got around right there. Right here is where the caution flag, right before turn number 1, is where it was thrown, and he was just out ahead of Craig Embry. So Baldwin jumping the restart, running that outside lane, finishes third. I tell you what, there's not a lot of drivers out there too happy with the situation, but there is your winner here tonight, folks. Glenn Murphy Jr., his victory burnout. Total of 9 laps led here tonight. Started 7th on the grid, and that Lowe's Chevrolet finds its way to victory lane here at the Tricky Triangle. We're going to pull the second place finisher in here tonight. Randy Arms, tell us how you feel finishing second here at the Tricky Triangle.
Well, it feels pretty good. We had about a 5th place car about all day. Then some of the front runners had some bad luck there, and but somehow managed to save the car in that wreck there. A couple cautions before the race ended, but yeah, we'll take it.
Is there, I mean, your expectations, knowing how many weeks off did you have previously before coming into tonight? I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks, wasn't it?
I had about 2 weeks off, and then I came back for Dover and had a fairly good run, and then had a couple more weeks off. But yeah, it's hard to just to come back and to be able to run with these top guys like we've been able to do.
Well, expectations coming into the Tricky Triangle. I mean, saw here tonight 10 total cautions. This thing finishes under the yellow. Knowing that you had a few weeks off, I mean, was your expectations high? I mean, did you set the bar to finish in the top 3, or just kind of surprised you finishing up there?
I was actually pretty surprised. I figured we could probably squeak out a top 5. I'm usually not the fastest here, but to be able to come home second, I mean, it feels like a win. And congrats to Glenn on the win. He's quick every week and just hasn't been able to seal the deal.
All right. Well, any final shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
I just want to thank the team and just everyone back at the shop for giving us fast cars every week.
All right, Randy. Well, congratulations here tonight. Chase starts next week. We look forward to seeing you at Michigan.
We'll be there. Thanks, Dustin.
There you have it, folks. Randy Arms coming in second place here tonight. Going to move to your winner, the 48 of Glenn Murphy Jr. Tough night. 10 total cautions on the field, but you're able to get it done here tonight. 9 total laps led. Started 7th on the grid, and you take that Lowe's Chevrolet all the way to victory lane. Glenn, take us back through the last few laps there, especially, a couple cautions, that we had in a row. What was your strategy looking at it with about 15 laps to go?
There was a few cars up there that I just kind of felt like it was anybody's race throughout. I felt like Dalton and I were probably the class of the field. Some people kind of got mixed up in the middle there, kind of threw a couple more people into the mix, but Dalton and I were coming back through the field, and I kind of got into them and sent me down pit road, but ended up being the luck I needed to get back up to the lead, and just from there just kind of hang on. I knew it was going to be a dogfight between me and Clay up to through turn 1 and 2 there, and yes, he had a little contact that kind of took out the field, but take them how you get them, and brought it home.
All right, is there any shout-outs you'd like to give for your victory here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to this chase coming up. It's going to be pretty wild. There's some pretty good competition in here. It could really go to anybody. I felt like on the season so far, Richmond, Dover, Kansas, we probably could have been the quickest car in victory lane, but the field's so competitive that every week, if you're not on top of your game, you're not going to get it done. So just looking forward to it, and shout out to the family as always.
All right, we'll look forward to seeing you next week at the start of the chase at Michigan.
All right, Dustin, appreciate it, man.
There you have it, folks. Glenn Murphy Jr., the 48 Lowe's Chevrolet, coming in first position, taking the victory here at the Tricky Triangle. Save this interview for the last, as this guy picks up a couple fans here tonight and a lot of animosity. Decided to interview you last here tonight, Dalton, coming through that field, jumping hard on that restart to move up the high side. A little bit of contact there with Stephen Landry, which brought out the last and final caution of the night, but it did not stop your hard charging on the outside to get third position. Very interesting. From one side of the coin, we could say it's a very impressive move. The other side of the coin definitely upset a lot of drivers. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts in going to that last restart.
Well, first, I shouldn't have done that to kind of open it up. I probably shouldn't have made that move. I had actually thought I had slowed down a lot more than I had. I didn't think I was going as fast as I was in relation to them. And really, the rule is once the green light comes out, you kind of make your best to catch the field and slow down for it. But once the green light comes out, our rule is you can go to the outside and do whatever you want. But the speed I was going at was too fast to really go out there and make that move. And and yeah, like you said, in some instances, in some places, that's a great move, and sometimes it works out really well. But this time it worked out in a wreck, and it's still not something you put people in a position like that where they're not really sure. Steven, me and him talked, and he said he didn't even really see me until the last second. He was actually going for a run he had on his own on the car he had in front of him, and that was how we made the contact. So I just got to apologize to those guys for wrecking them and kind of ruining the end of the race for some of those guys kind of messing up a shot at the win there just before the chase. Especially since I still had damage. Even if I got out there, I probably wouldn't have stayed out there. But still had a solid run tonight, and we had a really solid race. I think everyone had a pretty fun race up until that point. But happy to go into the chase with that run. One of my lesser tracks that I'm not as good at, and chase gets reset next week, so hopefully we'll do a lot better than we did tonight.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. Any final shout-outs, Dalton, you'd like to give before we let you go?
Children's Dream Racer. Always check them out, give them a donation. Don't let my final restart move affect that. But always support our troops and all that. I got that patriotic scheme. I love running those every year. And thanks to the league, the drivers, everyone in it, they always do a great job. And, you always do a great job broadcasting. Thanks to everyone for watching.
All right, we look forward to seeing you next week at the start of the chase at Michigan there, Dalton.
All right, thanks, bud.
There you have it, your series points leader coming into tonight's race, the guy who the hard charge to the outside of the field started the caution, or the incident, the contact that resulted in the final caution of the night. But next week starts the chase at Michigan, and Dalton will be leading the series in points yet again, coming out as Ostrander was second in points, and he is going to fall back just a little bit here tonight. Craig Embry is going to move up. Well, with all that said, let's take a look at the final results here tonight. Glenn Murphy Jr. comes away with the victory in the 48 Lowe's Chevrolet. Randy Arms, Dalton Baldwin, Craig Embry, David McMahon rounds out the top five. Tim Sandelin, Michael Tant, Clay Dildine, Chris Ostrander, John Ailes. I always want to call that guy Ailes. It's my Irish in me. Rounds out your top 10. Scott Brisk, Dylan Landry, Stephen Landry, Ryan Cobb, Mike Springer, Shaquille Ray. Tough night for that 183 car. Was looking to see him be up in the top 5 towards the end. Kevin Trzynski, Tyler Popp, AJ Brissett, Thomas Conheady through 20. Vern Bradley and Tyler Blanchard will round out your grid. Joseph Green showed up tonight for some autographs. Again, folks, we will be off Wednesday and Thursday this week. We'll be back on Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to cover the Interleague Championship Racing Series race number 4 at Chicagoland in the Camping World Trucks. You definitely want to tune into that. We now have 4 leagues That's right, I said it, 4 leagues in this 15 race series. 3 different vehicles, the trucks, the Camping World trucks, the Xfinity cars, and the Gen 6 cars through 5 different tracks. You definitely want to tune in and catch that race action. Some good powerhouse names in there that you'll see. You definitely want to tune in. You can find us on the web at forgebroadcasting.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/digitalforgebroadcasting. But that will do it for us here tonight, folks. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you Friday night.